And Customs and Border Protection officers now have a new way to identify those with a criminal history when crossing the port of entries. Good evening, I'm Chris Jacobs. Nicole has the night off. CBS 4 Sydney Hernandez joins us now live from the Anzalduas International Bridge with the details on this new technology. Sydney.
Chris, right here, there is a new technology happening at the border, which means that all the vehicles that are passing by the Anzalduas International Bridge will now be facially scanned and compared to photos from the federal government to see if they have a criminal history or are wanted. It's a small camera that will make a big difference.
Better security and streamline the process.
Customs and Border Protection officers have installed a facial comparison system that will evaluate facial features of those entering and leaving the country at the Anzalduas International Bridge. The photos will then be compared to any government files on record to see if the passenger has a criminal history or is wanted.
It's the security of our nation. That's where one of our missions. So we want to make sure that we have all the systems in place to safeguard our nation.
The cameras will be placed on 2 inbound and 2 outbound lanes on the bridge. There will be a third opt-out lane where people who do not want to be facially scanned can pass through inspection as normal. The choice is optional for drivers, as the Rio Grande Valley is the first testing sector in the nation for the facial comparison project.
It's going to be a seamless change. The traveler's not going to see anything different than what they normally do. As you can see, the cars are just passing, and it doesn't affect any of the processing or the wait times.
Port Director Carlos Rodriguez says although it won't affect the passengers, it will benefit the safety of Americans.
It's a safety for our country. We need to make sure who's coming into our country as well as exiting our country.
The facial recognition project will run for 1 year, and then U.S. Customs and Border Protection will decide whether or not to keep the new technology. Reporting live in Mission with complete Valley coverage, Sydney Hernandez, CBS 4 Valley at 5.